One of the best things that you can do on your wealth building journey is figure out ways to accelerate your path to wealth. And today, I want to go through 10 different things that can 10x your results when it comes to building wealth. Now, your habits and your actions are so incredibly important when it comes to getting rich and building wealth, because what happens is if you put the right habits into place, they are going to compound like anything else in the world. And so today, when we go through these 10 different things that you need to be doing in order to accelerate your path to wealth, I want you to think of what are some of these things that we could add to what I do day in and day out so that I can get to the next level when I start to build wealth. And number one is to read 30 minutes per day. Now, I started this habit way back in my early 20s, and I would read one book every single week. And this is the number one thing that gave me the knowledge to catapult myself to the next level when it came to building wealth. There are so many different benefits to reading, but one of the biggest ones is that you can dive into a deep topic and really deeply understand. In fact, there's a book called Rich Habits that came out that looked at the habits of really, really wealthy people, and 85% of millionaires actually read nonfiction books for 30 minutes per day. And I love this tweet from Andrew Wilkinson, a CEO of a billion-dollar company called TinyCo. And he just said, I wish I could short a market index of CEOs who do not read, because reading is that important. You truly need to be reading every single day. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, the two greatest investors of all time, read over 500 pages per day. You don't have to do what Buffett and Munger do, but what you do want to be doing is continuing to learn every single day. So read 30 minutes per day. Make it a goal to read those 30 minutes, 20, 30 pages, however long that would take you, so that you can really accelerate your path to wealth. Reading is the number one thing I did that just changed my life. Typically, I try to do it first thing in the morning, and if I can't get it out of the way, I'll do it right before bed. Number two is invest your dollars. Use your money to make more money. If you do not invest your money, you will never be able to retire. And compound interest is one of the most powerful things in life overall. Compound interest can happen in anything, whether stacking your habits, your health, your money. All of these different things are going to make a massive difference, but you have to use your money to make more money. There are three ways that I love to invest my dollars. Number one is in the stock market, in index funds and ETFs. Index funds just mirror an entire index, so you could think of things like the S&P 500, the Dow Jones Industrial Average. They even have indexes for the total stock market. And ETFs are the same thing. They just trade like a stock. Number two is real estate. And real estate is something I started to invest in 2017, and it is one that can really accelerate your path to wealth. And I truly believe that you can actually get wealthy faster with real estate. And then number three is businesses. You can buy, then build businesses and really accelerate your path to wealth for a low cash on cash return when it comes to being able to do that. We have a podcast episode on the Personal Finance Podcast with Walker Dybel, and he is the author of Buy Then Build and talks through exactly how to do that. So you have to learn how to invest your money. Pair up 1 and 2. If you've never invested your money before, invest your time into reading books about investing. Some of the great ones out there are The Simple Path to Wealth, The Little Book of Common Sense Investing. These are some great books that you can check out where you can start to really learn how to invest your dollars. Number three is avoid lifestyle creep. So if you've never heard of lifestyle creep, what it is when you start to make more money, your expenses also creep up and increase as you make more money. And there's nothing wrong with this. This is going to happen to most people throughout your life. Things are going to change where you're going to have kids or you're going to get married. And when these things happen in life, your expenses are obviously going to go up. What you don't want to do is increase your expenses so high that you are not saving and investing any money, because then what happens is there's no gap between your income and your expenses. And the way to build wealth is to grow the gap between your income and expenses. Wealth is in the gap. And so when you have a gap between your income and expenses, you can take those extra dollars, put them towards your investments. But if your lifestyle creeps up too fast, where you buy the brand new fancy car every time you get a raise, or you buy the massive house with extra bedrooms that you never use, then your lifestyle has crept up too much if you're not hitting your investment goals. So make sure you avoid lifestyle creep. It is the number one wealth killer for most people. Number four is don't drive away your wealth. And what do I mean by don't drive away your wealth? Do not spend all of your money on car payments. Car payments, I believe, especially in the US, are some of the biggest wealth killers that are out there. In fact, the majority of people, the average car payment is over $700 right now. This This is a major, major problem because why? A car is a depreciating asset. If you don't know what a depreciating asset is, it means it's an asset that goes down in value every single year. In fact, when you drive a car off a lot, especially if it's a brand new car, it loses 30% of its value the second that you drive it off the lot. This is a massive problem for most people, and they need to understand how buying brand new cars actually means that you are losing wealth the second you drive it off the lot. Making sure that you control this expense is one of the big three expenses: housing, food, and transportation. Controlling this expense is going to give you a 10x result if you can do so. So making sure that you can afford your car by putting 20% down on that car so that you don't get underwater on that car right when you buy it. Your payments are less than 4 years, not 4 years, but less than 4 years. And you keep those payments less than 8 to 10% of your total income are going to be some of the biggest things that you can do in order to make sure you are buying that car right. Number 5 is that you have to prioritize your health. If you do not start to prioritize your health, you are going to be spending countless dollars towards your health in the near future, because healthcare costs are some of the highest costs that are continually rising every single year. In fact, I've seen way too many people who were wealthy lose all of their wealth because they did not have healthcare costs in play and they got sick or something happened and they had these medical bills run up. You have to make sure that you take care of your health because the system is not going to take care of you. The US system is one of the worst healthcare systems out there, so you got to make sure that you are taking care of your health. How can you do this? A couple of different ways. You can start by eating right. That's the most powerful thing that you can do. Tracking your calories so that you can be in a caloric deficit is one of the better things that you can do if you're trying to lose weight. And then in addition, you also need to be exercising at least a couple days a week, if not 5, 6, 7 days a week, whatever your daily regimen is. This is one of the things that I did very early on, and it truly does help every single day. First thing in the morning, at least 5 days a week, but usually it turns out to be 6 or 7. I wake up, I start working out, I lift weights every single morning, and in the evening, I go and I play pickleball or I go do some other activities with my kids. So this is some of the things that you definitely want to be doing, is prioritizing your health so that you don't have so much health costs in the future. And health is wealth, meaning your life is going to be extended. You're working so hard to build up all this wealth so you can have financial freedom. Why not be able to enjoy it longer? So making sure that you have your health dialed in is one of the most important things. Nutrition and fitness are two of the most important regimens that you need to have. Number 6 is adopt healthy financial habits. Now, this is one of the most important things that you can do with your money, is have healthy financial habits. And if you haven't heard my podcast episode where we talk about my daily routines, I go through some of the healthy financial habits that you can have. And there's a bunch of different habits and hacks that you can implement in your very own life. So one thing is, I like to budget every single day. It takes me 1 minute every single day, but I'm on top of my finances by budgeting every single day. In addition, I want to make sure that I'm not taking on any debt or any additional things. So I pay off my credit cards every single week. That's another financial habit that we have. I meet with my wife every single month and we talk about our money and our financial goals. I review my goals weekly, quarterly, and yearly to make sure that I'm on track with my financial goals as well. So these are just some of the habits that I want you to kind of think through and see, what habits do I need to add into my life that would allow me to build more wealth. Number 7 is to create multiple streams of income. So the average millionaire actually has 7 different streams of income. And this doesn't just mean that you have 7 different jobs that you're working. Multiple streams of income means you're making money off your investments, your day job, and all these other various things. So here's some ideas of how you can have multiple streams of income. Number 1 is you can have your day job, your 9 to 5. And I want you to work on negotiating your salary every single year so that salary increases every single year, not just the basic 3% increase, but I want you to start to negotiate and see how you can get promoted so that you can make more money, because income is the catapult to building wealth. Number 2 is you can have a side hustle. So if there's something that you can do online that's going to allow you to make more money, maybe it's client work on Upwork. Maybe you're doing stuff where you're helping other people out. Maybe if your day job is coding, you go and help other businesses code at night. There's so many different things that you can do as a side hustle. And we have a bunch of great side hustle videos on this channel that you can check out. We have a whole playlist that we'll link up here. But there's so many different things that you can do with side hustles that it's a great second stream of income. Then you have your third stream of income. You could do something like invest in the stock market, whereas you have those investment returns and you have dividends that are paying off every single month. You could also invest in real estate. Real estate is another great way to increase the amount of income streams that you have. You can invest in royalties. You can invest in businesses. There's so many different things that you can be doing, but increasing the amount of streams of income that you have is a very, very powerful way to build wealth. Number 8 is to avoid bad debt. So personal finance is 90% 90% your behavior and only 10% what you have up here, your head knowledge. In fact, the concept of personal finance is actually very simple, but it's very difficult to put into practice. That's the reason why I teach personal finance the way that I do, is I'm trying to motivate you to get to the next level with your finances. And with that being said, what happens to most people is they get into consumer debt, either credit card debt or personal loans, or even some high interest auto loans. So you want to make sure that you are avoiding bad debt as if at all possible. Any interest rate above a 6% interest rate is bad debt in our opinion, and I want you to pay that down as fast as you possibly can. Credit card debt is the worst debt that you can have because it usually has an interest rate between 15% and 30%. So making sure you avoid bad debt like the plague is one of the most important things that you need to be doing. Number 9 is one that is definitely going to make you more money, and you probably don't realize it yet if you have not started doing this. And this is growing your network. So you've heard the old saying, your network is your net worth. And I did not realize how true this actually is until I started to prioritize my network. Making sure that you put your network first is going to be one of the most important things that you could do so that you can make more money. If you're trying to build up a career, having an amazing network is really powerful. If you're trying to build a business, having an amazing network is powerful. If you're trying to be a real estate investor, networking with other real estate investors is very powerful. Doing this in who you know is going to give you so many more opportunities that you cannot even fathom if you have not started doing it. So make sure that you prioritize putting together networks. Look for local meetups that you can work on. Look at ways that you can network on LinkedIn, but look in different scenarios to see how can I network with other people in my industry so that I can really take my career to the next level. And then number 10 is my favorite one, and it is pay yourself first. So every single time you get paid, I want you to think about it this way. I need to pay myself first, then I can spend what is left over. What do I mean by paying myself first? So paying yourself first means that you take your extra dollars, the amount of dollars that you want for your financial freedom account, for your investments, for your emergency fund, and you put those dollars aside, and then you spend what is left over. And this is the number one rule to building wealth. This is what every single person who has a lot of money in their bank account does, is they pay themselves first, then they spend what is left over. Prioritizing yourself first is the most powerful thing that you can do with your money. Listen, hope you guys learned a ton about how you can accelerate your path to wealth and 10x your results. If you guys have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we will see you on the next video.